Aloha everybody and welcome to part 3 of Sonic Rush. We are still going through Mirage Road, the desert level. And it's still a desert level. Well, that's not true. I don't hate desert levels. I like them better than water levels, certainly. It just depends on the game. Super Mario Bros. 3, all the desert levels in that game kick ass. I don't have a problem with World 2, you know. It just depends on the level. With Sonic, it doesn't usually have a good track record. So you keep seeing throughout the game that I'm constantly, every time I hit a ramp and stuff, I am constantly doing tricks, and I got all these points showing up next to Sonic's head and whatnot. Tricks help build up your boost meter, as you can probably tell. When you hit a ramp, when you hit a spring, you push the the B button, to jump, which is the jump button, and it just basically does a little trick. Keep doing it, you make another trick. Keep doing it, you make another trick. And you can keep doing it until eventually you hit the ground, whenever that is. And a great way to do more tricks is to do a double jump in the air. That way you stay in the air longer and you can do more tricks. Because the more tricks you do, the more meter you build up, and that way you can boost longer and longer and longer. Because if you have no boost energy and you try putting the boost button on, you will just be running regularly. And the game's level design likes to put enemies just lying in the middle of the road, and they come up so fast because you're moving around the screen so fast, you know? So if you're not boosting around, generally a lot of the flat surface hallways that you're running through, Sonic will just run into a guy and get damaged, unless he's spin dashing, but again, I don't really find the need to spin dash too much in Sonic Rush. Another thing that helps with the trick system, you can do tricks with the B button, but the A button is actually a sort of finishing trick. Every time you do a successful chain of B tricks, you might want to try ending it off with an A trick, because it comes with this big finishing thing, and even its own animation, where a whole bunch of animals come flying from the bottom of the screen, and you got like a little bonus, a little trick bonus. Doing tricks is pretty much essential if you want to get an S rank in this game. Getting an S rank in every level of this game doesn't really unlock anything that I recall. It's really just for bragging rights. It's really just to go, hey, I did an S rank playthrough. Take a look. How awesome is this? Ha ha ha! But it's mostly basically just bragging rights, you know. The trick system, it's going to take a little getting used to, because sometimes, you know, it's kind of hard to remember that after you hit a ramp and after you hit a spring to do these tricks in order to build up your meter, because if you're not building it up, you're not boosting, and yeah, I mean, killing badniks, you'll get boost energy, but whatever. This section's a little bit different from the first stage, because in Act 1 we were on this kind of contraption, but in Act 2, now it's in the water, and we can actually move Sonic up and down. So it's almost like a Scott Pilgrim Streets of Rage beat-em-up now. Which is a little bit weird for Sonic, you know? So, just keep in mind the shadows, the drop shadows of the boulders, and even the badniks. The badniks always come off from off-screen, and the boulders are always hanging at the very top. So you'll see the boulders coming, but the badniks, that's basically how you tell. If you see a drop shadow, but there's no boulder up there, that's going to be a badnik. Be prepared to jump, and you'll destroy them no problem. I don't know if these wizard-type robots are like the Sonic Heroes wizards, where they, like, regain characters' healths, but these guys don't really have health bars. You jump into them once, and they die, which is great. Because Sonic games are always best when the badniks can only get killed in, like, one hit. That's how it should be. Super fast, super speedy, like the blue blur, Sonic the Hedgehog. Look at them dance. Oh, yeah. You always get an S rank by getting 100,000 points, so in that particular thing, my time and my tricks was just enough to get me an S rank. I'm pretty awesome. I'm the Great Clement. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Mirage Road boss. Giving me Mega Man X6 flashbacks with that, Honestly, I can't even remember his name. That's the thing about Mega Man X Mavericks. I always forget their name after a while, unless I'm playing the game in time, you know? I hate X6. But, Eggman Nega is basically in this little scarab robot. He's pushing this little ball around, and the ball has this sort of timing thing. It stays in spikes for like 3 or 4 seconds, and then it transforms into a flat ball for 3 or 4 seconds. Spikes for 3 seconds, flat for 3 seconds. Spikes for 3 seconds, flat for 3 seconds. Obviously, if you touch the ball when it has spikes, well, you're going to get damaged. You touch it when it's flat, it'll go rolling towards him, and you want to wait until his machine turns around. See, he's pushing the ball in a circle, and I guess he turns around thinking, I'm going to catch Sonic when he comes up to me, and then the ball will definitely hit him. But if you try hitting the ball too early, if you hit the ball back into him before he turns around, he'll actually catch the ball and throw it again. So you have to sort of wait until the ball chases you a little bit, and then Eggman's machine will turn around, and then you hit the ball, and then it'll hit him right in the butt. Boom! You think he'd stop falling for it after the 2 or so times it happens, but no, he's just going to keep doing the same strategy. Whatever. Despite the camera angles, it's all 2D. Every boss fight is 2D. You don't have access to the boost. All you're really doing is playing jump and spin dash game, and, you know. If you want an S rank on boss fights, it's always expected that you collect all the rings and hold on to them till the end of the match, because each ring that you collect is a 1,000 points. So I'll have 12,000 points if I keep all 12 rings by the end of this thing. And generally, because the boss fights always tend to be more than 2 minutes because of the way they're designed, you know, time is important. Like, you don't want to be too long, but you definitely need those rings in order to get an S rank going on. Also, this move can be different. Sometimes he shoots it where you are. Other times, he'll actually shoot it to where you're going, sort of like Gruntilda from Banjo-Kazooie. So, just be careful about that. If he starts shooting it where you are, you know, you might want to take some baby steps, just little psych-out movements. You don't want to get too crazy with this boss. And as you saw definitely in the boss fight, he'll jump over the ball sometimes, but all you have to do is hit the ball again, and it'll go right back into his backside. Wait, Eggman Nega! Where you going, bro? Nega, please! I'm sorry. It was the most expected joke. I had to make it. I'm so sorry. But hey, that's the end of Mirage Road, my least favorite level. Fighting like this isn't really helpful. Well, you are saving a whole bunch of animals, Sonic. I mean, that's something. I mean, yeah, dimensions are crossing into one another, and everything's getting... The fabric of reality is getting all fucked up, but hey, the animals. You could still be a hero, you know. So now they're looking for help, and they decide to go to Cream's house. I don't know why. But hey, there's Vanilla. You remember Vanilla? She's Cream's mom. We had to save her at the end of Sonic Advance 2. It was a fantastic time, wasn't it? I still remember that final scene like it was yesterday. Eggman's in a shrimp robot that's flying through outer space. You blow him up, and then Sonic and Vanilla are falling through the sky, and they have the most badass music in Sonic Advance 2 ever playing during that scene. I miss the good days of Sonic. I'm so glad to be playing Sonic Rush, a good Sonic game in my opinion. I know this game has mixed opinions, but you know what? I do think that this game does a lot of things right, where Advance 3 and Advance 2 sort of did them wrong. For example, the Chaos Emeralds. They were done better. There's like an access point to the special stage in every act. More than one, sometimes, and they're really easy to get into. It's not a goddamn treasure hunt for Chow or 7 rings that you need to collect before you finish the level, you know? It's easy to get Chaos Emeralds in this game. It's convenient to get Chaos Emeralds in this game. And that's damn important, you know? Another thing, you don't have to collect Chaos Emeralds for every character. Blaze does not need to collect Chaos Emeralds. She does not have a special stage, so you're only doing it with Sonic. Oh, by the way, this time I'm showing you the full screen. Since you wanted to know what the top screen of the special stage was like, I figured we'd do that 4th damn Chaos Emerald in full screen. Why not? But I like that, you know? I hated the Chow system in Advance 3. I hated the 7 ring system in Advance 2. And Advance 1, I liked that game the most out of all the Advance games, but it was still 7 specific springs that you had to find. It wasn't like Sonic 2 or Sonic 3 and Knuckles, where as long as you had the rings, or at least as long as you looked around, you could find a way into the special stage in every act, you know? Make it convenient for the player, and Sonic Rush makes it convenient for the player. I can get the 4th Chaos Emerald in this stage or in Act 2. In fact, I could get it in different checkpoints. There's not just this one, you know? I'm sure you've been paying attention, but basically you find this little handle spinny thing, and you have to boost when you're hanging on to it. And as long as you have a full bar of boost, like as long as you're all the way to blue or all the way to yellow or red, you can basically boost your whole way into the special stage. It's really easy to do and really convenient, and I appreciate that. You know? Another thing, again, you can replay any stage, any boss that you want at your leisure. If you were like, hey, I really liked Mirage Road Scarab boss. I want to fight that again. All you have to do is go to the map, go to Zone 3, and you're allowed to go fight the boss whenever you want. So, you know, convenient. The soundtrack, glorious! I've already gone on about the soundtrack, but it's seriously, I love this stuff. I love it! So as you see, killing Badniks gets you, I think, 5 or 10 rings. Look at all those numbers, Jesus! And the reason you want to hit those numbers fast, I believe the faster you are, the more ring payout you get. Like, if you just make it just before the meter goes away, it's like, good. You know, not great, not awesome, just good, you did it. But if you hit those numbers really fast, you get more rings. That's why it's a little bit more panicky, because then you're like, oh, I missed. I lost the rings, god damn it. Stupid stylus mini-game. But at least you're not a motion-controlled mini-game. That's what matters. But that's our damn 4th Chaos Emerald. Anyway, onto the stage. This is Night Carnival. It's the reverse opposite of Carnival Night. Oh, they're running out of ideas for names. Can you blame them? They've used every fucking combination they can possibly do at this point. Like, now they have to pull out more words for these games. But anywho, this level has a lot of buttons and a lot of sort of puzzle elements to this stage. There are certain rails that will not glow, and you can't ride them when they're not glowing. So you have to hit a button that makes the rail glow, and then you can grind on it. There's this thing where a trail of light will come along, and you hit a button to make it shoot through, and then you have to stand on it and wait for it to get to its destination and stuff. Here's the light rails. So there's a little bit of that. There's going to be a lot of trial and error with this place. It's actually got a lot of bottomless pits. But I don't find the stage design all that unfair. Again, when you have the R button double jump, and you just know that... honestly, there's not too many moments in this spot where you boost haphazardly and you can fall into a pit. I haven't found that. I know a lot of people find that a little bit irksome about Sonic Rush, is that because you're relying so much on the boost to get through areas where... just flat areas where running into a badnik hurts you, you know. You're going to be boosting a lot. That's just the way this game is. It's not like a classic Sonic game. It definitely isn't. So, you know, sometimes when you land on a spot and then you instantly boost because that's your natural reaction, you'll miss a spot like this, where you'll just fly off the edge and go into a bottomless pit and fall to your death, and that's never fun. I think it's pretty well designed, and you don't really get stuck on levels too much, but that's just me. And maybe I'll elaborate on that when we go to Night Carnival Act 2. Till then.